my gosh, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I have nothing on my table yet because I just have an announcement that I am going to be showing spoilers today. Yes, I'm spoiling things for you. If you are somebody who does not want to see anything from the Advent calendar or anything from the release that's coming up soon, this is not your video. Come and say hi to me through Messenger or something. But today is a spoiler. And so I have a few, I don't have any big announcements, so you're not going to be missing gobs of stuff if you come back and watch this later. But I wanted to show you first this really cool card that was given to me by Noelle for Halloween. She wrote a really sweet message on the inside, but the outside is that die that has all the little doors, and in each little door there is a Halloween critter thing, picture, whatever. Oh my gosh, look at that witch, so cute. The candy, everything is very detailed, glittered, colored, shaded, beautiful. She did such a nice job. And the way this die works that she used, it just cuts the little doors. So she drew on all those little gold lines on each of the little doors. I love it. I love it so much. I'm like looking at it. I'm keeping it on my desk and looking at it all the time. I love it, Noelle. Thank you. And thank you guys for showing some of your artwork that's been on the Facebook group, because wow, it really means a lot to me to see all the stuff you're making. It is so much fun to see everybody's ideas and how they're using the different products. And I think it's really amazing. So thank you for sharing. Okay, are we ready for the spoiler? It's been a few minutes. I gave you a fair warning. So the Advent calendar, I'm not going to show everything that comes in it, but I am going to use this today, and I'll probably use this a little bit next week too, because one of the things that drove me a little crazy about having that beautiful poinsettia Christmas paper is that we didn't have a beautiful poinsettia flower or anything to go with it. And so, of course, as soon as I open the Advent calendar, this is the Advent set that you get when you buy the Advent calendar. And yeah, these flowers could be anything, right? They could be anything. And certainly none of the messages are holiday. But it just so happens that this flower turns into a great Christmas flower. So both of these do. And so I'm going to show you that today. The dies are like, in the Advent calendar as well. So you get some dies for some of the flowers and some of the greenery. But on another day, you get these dies. I'm excited about that. The postage dies. And these are different from the postage set. Let me see if I can find my postage set. I have it in here somewhere. The regular postage set you can see are kind of small bumps, and these are like larger bumps. I don't know how to explain that. But what's really nice is that these would make great for messages. Make a ticket, make a whole row of tickets. Like if you're going to the, train for the express, what's it called? Polar Express train, make a whole row of tickets for your scrapbook page or something. Oh my gosh, so cute. This is actually big enough for a really nice sized image. I'm going to show you that today. Anyway, so I just think this is a great set. I'm in love. I want to prove to you that it's not holiday though. This is the paper pack that comes in the advent calendar, and it's very springy. You get 2 sheets of each. They're only on one-sided, but that's okay. And lots of opportunities to play. Look how beautiful those are. So it's very springy, and I'm definitely going to be using it. Now, I'm not going to show everything in the calendar. I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you. Although, if you want a spoiler, my gosh, they're all over the place. But I've been kind of messing around a little bit with the bling. So the bling, this is great for, these are great for just gluing onto your cards or using as shaker materials. And you can see it's very sparkly. It's so much fun. So good. And so I just, I had to show you that because I'm using these flowers today. Yep, I'm using the flowers. So I just want to show you a couple of cards that I made using the stuff from that set that makes it holiday. So you recognize the postage dies, I'm sure. And then what I did was I just stamped onto a panel, and then I aligned my dies onto it and cut them out. I did not cut them out and then stamp. I just random stamped and then cut those out. Now the paper you might recognize from my last live that I did. It is the tags, Christmas tags and more 6x6 paper, and I've got scraps of it falling out all over the place. I need to put this in an envelope. But what's great with this is front and back, you get great patterns, and you get a lot of sheets of each pattern. So you could do your bulk cards pretty easily using this pack. And I love this plaid, and I love the snowflake. And so that's what I used. And then it also has a couple of sheets of punch-aparts, which I threw into a bin because they were literally falling out of my, they're falling out. They punch apart really easily, and they don't have those little Chad things hanging off of them if that drives you crazy. So awesome idea. You could use these and make some postage cards just like this. Without stamping, you could just use the images, which is really great, which is what I did on here. So I used the postage dies on this paper so that I could, just kind of have a little bit of each little picture on there. I think it's really cute. And I love that little joy thing. Oh, that's from that Jolly Holly set. But I just thought this was really fun. This is really sweet. I have seen people take these and instead of cutting them into postage, using like this around them to make, so I've seen a lot of samples of how people have used these. They cut these down and then they make a postage border around that. And that's amazing. That's with the regular postage set. Anyway, so just a few little ideas there. And then today, I know I'm going to be a little short and sweet because today's a yard day, you guys. Yuck. We have got yard work. We've gotten out of it because it's been so incredibly hot that our grass hasn't been growing. But when you have 3 yards to take care of, when it does need work, it's an all-day event. Truly. Okay, so at first I thought, let's stamp these on colored cardstock because then the flowers will already be red and that'll just be like a shade or a shadow. And I like that just fine. It obviously needs some bling, like some of that gold bling. I'm not as sure what to do with these flowers. When I cut them out, they have holes in them, and I did kind of start messing around a little bit with stacking them so that they have like two levels. Like, see how it's pink on the inside and red on the outside, or you could do the vice versa thing, where it's, you know, red on one side like that. Very cool. It's not as clear to me that that's a Christmas flower, right? And then on these, I just stamped them and used the dies, and real basic, but look how great they look. I also I cut some of the leaves out, and I did a little fussy cutting because I didn't want so much border showing. But I did cut a few of these leaves out. I think I would get out my greenery for a scrapbook page, or use some of the greenery from this set. The greenery, you know, I have tons of greenery because I've been messing around with, when I was doing the gingerbread guys, I cut extra because I thought that'll look great with these. So this is where I started from, and I have a lot of pieces and parts because I have other projects in mind. Okay. So today, real simple. I just want to put a quick card together, and I love this paper. I love this paper. I mean, you can do anything you want. It's gorgeous. This is from, I'll show you the other stuff I'm using. Sorry, I got a little stack here. This is the wood grain Birchwood 3D embossing folder. And yes, it's still available. And it is really awesome for making that kind of wood grain look on your cards. And if you want to add more dimension to it, you can add some brown ink over this, or white ink over this, and just swoop your ink pad over it, or use a blending brush and add a little something. But I was thinking I'm just going to keep it plain. That's unusual for me, but I'm just going to keep it plain. The other thing I'm using today are the traditional labels. There are a bunch of different labels, and I really love these cutouts. You can see you get like a cool border on all of them. There's something a little different on each one for different borders, which makes it kind of nice. And I used this one on this card with the season's greetings. Love it. Okay, so for some reason I thought I had already put this out on a block, but I hadn't. So let's start with our greetings, since we actually have to stamp. I'm being lazy. I didn't even get out ink today. Okay, what color should I do the Merry Christmas? I think Merry Christmas will fit really nicely on here. I think in green. Let me grab it. All right, so if you've never used your stamp before and it looks kind of bubbly, you may need to stamp that off on a scratch paper or something. Also, it really does help if you rub those onto your onto your skin a little bit, or just rub it off onto an eraser or something just to get the manufacturing oils off of there. It'll hold your ink better. Hi, Noelle. Good morning. I showed your very cool card. Were you on to see that? I'll tell you what, I love that card. I've been showing it to people already. I love it so much. All right. So this is really, I really like this. I think it's going to need a little bling. I want to use, this is the Natural Tones linen thread. And almost at any given time, Stampin' Up! Has some linen threads that are available. Now, I just want you to know that I get frustrated trying to find the end. So sometimes I'll just pull a big hunk off and chop it and use it. That's why mine looks like chaos. You're just gonna have to know that it works for me, but you might want to be a little more precise when getting out your linen thread. And so here's my deal. Sometimes I have trouble bringing this to the front and making like a bow on the front of a card. And so here's what I do often, okay? This is the back. I'm going to attach this to the back. I'm going to wrap this around like that, okay? And I like how that looks. You can arrange your pieces a little however you want. And then I take a second piece and see, it's only attached on the back. So then you can slide this under and you can make your bow. You can tie your bow, whichever side. What's really great about this is that you can move it afterwards. You know, like if you really, I'm so futzy with bows. If you really like the bow on the left, the right, you have it on the right hand side, you think this is where you really want it, and then you're like, change your mind. I can be like, well, okay, let me move it over here, because it's just wrapped around the thread, you know. So you can move it, you can reposition it however you want it to be. And I think I'm going to put it on the left for now. How's that? Now, the other thing that I do with bows is I take my liquid glue and I dot the knot with liquid glue, and it all dries clear, which is amazing. I don't use the green mono Tombow glue. I am way too messy with that glue, but it stays a little sticky. So think about that. If you use that glue, you may have a little stickiness on your bow right there. But I use other types of liquid glue. All right, so I am ready to adhere. Which side do I want? Do I want the plaid, the green? Let's do this one in green. I did a plaid one already. I'm telling you, it's kind of hard to cover up these great patterns. I always, it's easy to cover up the ones you don't like, right? But the ones I like are always on the side the one that I like. Always on the same page. Okay, so I want this a little elevated, but I don't want to use foam tape on it because I'm going to use a little bit of foam possibly on my flowers. So I have this scratch paper. I know it doesn't look like scratch paper, but it's in my scratch pile. And I just I'm just going to use a couple pieces of it on the back. And the reason I do it like this, I saw this on Jennifer McGuire, and I just happened to have gobs and gobs of scratch papers, like scraps, sitting in a bag, and I was wondering whether I should throw them away and start over. You know how that gets to be out of control. And this was a great way to use up some of those scraps. They don't show. You can use any color you want. I just think that's really great. All right. So, and it gives my piece just a little bit of dimension right there, which is really great. Okay, let's arrange some flowers. So I have the big flower, a small red flower, and one that's stamped. And I could just use those. I kind of like the solid one in there as an option. So I'm just sort of moving things around, and then I have my Merry Christmas. I think I'm going to put on the inside of my card. Okay, let me grab a few dimensionals or something. Got to see what I have in my stash. All right, so some of these are going to have to go flat. I'm just doing the centers because I may want to tuck a leaf under there. And then this one, it might need a dimensional because it'll be on top of that thread. Thank you for your comment, Noel. My nails, as you know, were like falling apart. It's starting to peel, looking kind of bad. And then I thought it's time for Halloween. Halloween nails, which sounds really weird when I'm working on Christmas stuff. But here I am. All right. I'm just going to put some dimensionals on here. How much do I need? Well, it kind of depends on which way I turn. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. I want I want to put the dimensionals on so that they don't stack on top of these dimensionals. You know, this will just lay on top. There, like that. Perfect. And then I made these leaves. I just made a few leaves. I don't even know where I want to put them, but I'm just going to start tucking them in. I like how it looks. These, I know they made these leaves so that they would be more generic looking for those springy flowers, right? But I do think it needed the greenery, right? It needs a little something. So I'm gonna put that there. Okay, and then excuse me. You could do a lot of different things. You could use the punch outs from here, and we can just try that and see how that looks. If we wanted to add, oh, that looks really nice actually, doesn't it? I like how it looks. I like it up there. I'm going to put it up there. I was going to use my greenery that I cut, you know, like this, and that would look really nice too. It needs to be shorter though. Sweet. It always helps when you're doing Christmas to have, you know, pine type greenery. Okay, that is basically my card. Now, the other thing that I kind of wanted to add to it is some bling. And I wanted to use this bling from the Advent calendar. I'm looking for my little tray. I have my tray full of the, oh, okay, it's not full anymore. I was gonna say, I have my tray full of these little paper clips from that Sweet and Spooky set, but now they're all over my table. That is hilarious. Oh my God. Okay, so I guess I'll use these. These little blings are really sweet. They kind of, they're little gems that just have gold. They're from the Advent. And I think I'm just gonna scatter a few here, here. And then I think I'll put a couple out there. All right. Let's see what I want. It's always hard to do projects when I'm working from such a small work surface. Like my camera only showing such a small piece space. Now, what I really like about this glue is that it does not dry white, it dries clear, so it makes it really easy to use. Even if I use too much and it gooshes out around, I don't have to wipe that off. It'll look great. If any of you have received cards from me, you know I do this all the time. I have glue gushing. Trying to flip those over. Oh, that's so sweet. I love the idea of using the word joy on here. I know that I've been using it on everything, but it's very tempting to add a little, just a little tiny message in a strip right there. And I may do that. I don't know what I'll put on there, but I might do that. But anyway, I love that so much. Shimmer pen, especially to these centers. And just a little on the leaves. Because you have to have bling. You have to have some bling. And you could shimmer pen the whole thing if you wanted to, but I like how when someone looks at the card, it just catches a little sparkle, but it's not like whoa, all over. I really like that. And I want to use my texture paste and add snow, but I think I'll just use my gel pen for now. And I'm just gonna add a few little lines here and there at the ends. All right. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'm doodling. I can't help myself. I don't want to make it too homespun, but it kind of is. But look how fun that card. That's a great card, right? That would be really easy to assembly line because all my flowers are made. It'd just be layering things like crazy, right? So here's my 3 cards today. Here's 1, here's 2, and here is 3. And you could see like that joy being added up here in the corner on this one. It would look really great. But I'm not going to, and I cut out that, I made that Merry Christmas. I'm going to put it on the inside of my card. So it'll look fabulous. See? Okay. because right now, this is just a panel. I haven't added it to a card base yet. All right, so there's 3 more Christmas cards done. Cha-ching. I told you I'm on a mission to get Christmas cards made. Okay, now my other spoiler today is the November pre-orders. So what happens, Stampin' Up! Every other month has a pre-order where it has an online new order. It like new products. So this will be in November. As a consultant, I can order a month ahead. So that's really nice to be able to order some products ahead of time. I did not order a lot. This pre-order I felt a little bit small, and I'm in holiday mode, and not everything here is holiday mode. And I thought, I can always order it later. And, along with you in November. But I want to show you the things I did to order. So the first thing I ordered it's called Valentine Kisses. And this is in the Stampin' Up! New packaging, which is a giant envelope that it measures like, I don't know what size it is. Let me see. Like 5 by 9, something like that. And so the packaging is just a big storage envelope, and it's really nice that you can see your set inside your envelope, because that's basically how I store all my stuff. And then, of course, the stamps are inside, and look at that. They're so cute. I just want to call your attention to a few things. They have this bear where he can hold things, and look, he's got his own teddy bear. Oh, he's got a honey jar. So cute, so cute. This will be amazing for Valentine's Day. And look at the little smooches. So cute. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't give cartoony kinds of cards. I only give pretty cards or whatever. Then buy, there's a couple of floral sets and gosh, there's some other sets that are really great. If you're not, this is the only cartoony thing that I saw. And of course I grabbed it because I love it. And then this is the kissing booth, which is, it has a stitched heart. It cuts out the honey jar and the bear and all the pieces. It cuts out strings that are like balloon strings. I'm not sure what that, like if you would put hearts above that, I'm not sure what you would put on the balloon strings, but it makes a little actual kissing booth. Oh my gosh, too cute, too cute. I can't wait to play with that. And I am definitely not storing my stamps this way because these don't fit. I might try it, but I don't think these will fit in my space this way because my pockets fit perfectly. Here's my storage pockets. So they're only an inch longer. I don't know, maybe that'll work. That'll be nice. I know that they'll all fit into one envelope. Okay, the second thing I picked up is this set, and I got it out because I was messing with it a little bit. It's called On Display, and it is, you guys know I love my hutch thing, and I love all of the little pieces that go on my hutch thing. So it's a fussy one, but look at that die set. Oh my gosh. So this will make either a shelf unit, a curio cabinet, a hutch of sorts. See, it has little feet down here at the bottom. If you make it tall, it'll fill an A2 card for sure. And then all the little pieces of things that will go on the shelves. OMG. It also has the top of the hutch, the handle, if you want to make it into a giant door. If you go online, they have their artwork where this is like a giant door and it opens, and these are like the hinges. Very cute. Excuse me, I have not taken my allergy medicine yet. I need to, especially if I'm going to be outside working in the yard. Ugh. I love all the little things. Look, it has a globe, the little bird cage with the birds, several plant options. Look at the cat with the stripes. Little picture frame. Oh my gosh, the books. I'm excited. This will be fun. This is going to be another one where I have trays of die cut things that I need to put together. So that is something that, you know, if you're not into the little die cut pieces, I'm not always, but I'm going to for this one. Okay. Cake Day is the third thing I bought. I do not need more cake. I don't. I just don't. But this set, it was so different. It actually has, okay, so it's like the gingerbread men where it's connected and it makes a folded piece of cake as a card. Look at the little meringues or icing tops. There's candle holders of different kinds, different candles. Look at the swirly candles. Oh my gosh. The frostings, lots of little stars. Like, look how many stars you can cut. There's 1, 2, 3 dies that cut little stars. And then, of course, the cake. I decided I don't have anything else like it. And so, yeah, I went for it. So this one's Happy Cake Day, Make a Wish, Happy Birthday. And then you can see the different stamps and the icing. And it has a candle that you can actually stamp if you don't want to die cut. So look at that. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So it's a big slice of cake. I mean, that is going to be your card. It's going to be large. So I just think that's fun. And look at the sparkler for the top of the candle. Yeah, so these are coming in November. I also got this, the earthy matte dots. I tell you what, I told you I begged for dots that were solid instead of clear, and I'm buying all of them. I asked for it and I got them. Look at that. These are perfect colors for fall things. That's like, it looks like pecan pie. I don't know that blue. It doesn't say. It's kind of a gray blue, a turquoisey gray blue. I don't know how to describe that blue. And then like espresso, Cajun craze. I recognize those. And then, yeah, I don't know. But I love this. I like these colors. It's going to make some great... I can use those on more masculine cards and stuff. Anyway, this was my pre-order. And I don't pre-order tons of stuff. Sometimes I like to see what other people do with them before I'm sold on it. But these were the ones that I really had to have. And so there is your spoiler for today. You got the Advent calendar spoiler. You got the November order spoiler, and I don't know. I hope you like it. All right, have a great weekend. I'm going to be doing the Hero Arts Handmade Holiday class tomorrow, and tonight is the Jingle Bell sign up. For those of you who do cross stitch, the Jingle Bell sign up for classes is tonight. Don't forget, it's important. All right, have a great day. Bye, everybody.